Welcome to Read Your Comics. Today I'm looking at Batman and Robin Year 1, Number 1. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Daryl and I'm the host of Read Your Comics. Today I'm looking at a modern book. I don't usually buy these, but I love the creative team on this book. I loved them when they did Daredevil, so here I am again. But before I jump into it, I just want to give a quick shout out to all the viewer support. All your likes, comments, and shares are appreciated. And if you haven't already, why not hit subscribe so you don't miss a future video? If you enjoy this positive comic content and think other fans need it in their feed, by subscribing, you are pushing that content to them too, and it helps spread the love of comics. But as I was saying, I love the creative team. It's Mark Waid, Chris Samnee. I was sold on this when I saw Chris post it on Instagram that he was going to be on this Batman book. If you read their Daredevil run, it was a lot of fun. It kind of broke away from the grim and gritty era of that pretty much everyone had tried to copy Frank Miller since. And then, Bendis had a big run that was kind of dark and crime noir. That was his style too. Ed Brubaker did a really good run on Daredevil. And then Mark Waid came on and kind of put more of a Silver Age feel back into Daredevil. And it was a nice change of pace for the book for, I think they were on it for about 3 years. Now, I don't think Samnee started that run with him, but he came on within the first year and was on it throughout the rest of it. And they just did a fantastic job together. So when I heard they were doing a Batman and Robin Year 1 book, I had to check it out. And everybody's all hype about Absolute Batman. And, I was like, I'm more interested in this. I read Absolute Batman. It was pretty good, but I was still more interested in this. It's a more, traditional Batman. And those early years of Batman I find to be the most interesting. Year 1 is probably my favorite Batman story. I like it even more than The Dark Knight Returns. So doing another one of these kind of books is a lot of fun. And it's not the first time. I think there is like a Robin Year 1 that kind of dives into it too. But as I said, the creative team is what brought me on here. This is one of those cardstock covers. I don't even remember who did this particular cover. It's weird how they do this now. So for an extra $1, you get this cardstock cover that just is on top of the regular cover. But this is all they had left at the LCS when I went to visit was this one. And I was like, oh, I just wanted the plain cover. And he was like, well, I'll give it to you for the plain cover price that's in there. So for an extra $1, tacking on a cardstock cover is kind of cheap on DC's part. I gotta admit. Love that they got the old classic logo back. I saw that announced at San Diego Comic-Con. They wasted no time getting it back on the books. This Batman and Robin logo, too. This is the Batman logo of the Year 1 era. That's the Batman lettering, or pretty close to it, right? And then just adding the Robin Year 1. This is the Chris Samnee cover, and it's funny. Variant covers are cool. I mean, there's always like a cool image and stuff of some random artist, maybe that's not done the interiors of the book. But I do like getting the cover that the interior artist did, if there is one. Anyway, cardstock cover, original cover. This is all I really wanted. But one thing I love about Samnee, he's kind of that cross between like a Darwin Cook and kind of a Mazzucchelli on this book at least. And, there's a little bit of Frank Miller-ness in here too. So it's a little bit of everybody, but I love the spotted blacks. This would look great in black and white. In fact, he's posted a bunch of these pages or even panels and stuff that he does on his Instagram where they're just black and white and they look great. Although the coloring in this is good, and it is reminiscent of what Richmond Lewis did on Year 1. So it kind of fits that vibe, right? They waste no time really. With Robin's origin. They just kind of expect you to know the whole part with the circus, because it just jumps into he's been studying the things that Batman is having him do, and Alfred and Batman are having a discussion on whether or not he's ready when the bat signal goes up and they're going out to see it. This is a great transition of what looks like Batman's eyes, and as it kind of pulls away and then it gets a little brighter, and even this looks like Batman's cowl and his body, but it's the Batmobile coming over a hill. So this is a great transition right here, I think. And an awesome splash page. I love the way the Batmobile looks on this. It's almost got like a dome glass roof. So you've got like a 360 view, the curves and the organic lines of the Batmobile. I love the Dark Knight Returns and Batman Begins and stuff, but because of the Batman tumbler, that kind of became the thing, is to give Batman this like big bulky military looking car. But I really prefer the Batmobile to have these like rounded edges and organic lines and stuff. Nice title page here. I do like the lettering on this. It's done really well. Good shot of Gotham City coming in. This page is a total contrast to one of the last times I read Batman regularly, which was All Star Batman by Frank Miller and Jim Lee, when you had Batman terrorizing Robin in the car. Of course, that was like right after he had come out of the circus after his parents were killed. But it's an interesting contrast that you get right here. And you don't have Batman being a total hard ass in this. He's kind of cracking a wry smile right there. And even here, it's like, he's a little grim, but he's not being overly hard on Robin. And I look back at, say, the New Frontier, and these are all different versions of Batman. They are not necessarily in the continuity. But when Superman asks Batman why he has a kid with him, and his response is, well, I took on this bat persona to scare criminals, but not children. And he kind of brightens things up a little bit. So you're feeling more of that vibe in this than you do in some of those other like edgier takes of Batman, right? So they go to visit Gordon, and this is Gordon's first introduction to Robin. And it's a pretty good one. Again, great use of spotted blacks and shadows, which perfect for Batman, right? Just a little bit of lighting on Gordon, keep his face lit, and Robin introduces himself. I love the Robin costume, the way Samnee does it here, where, he's got the shorty shorts on, but his top part is more like a tunic, and it kind of like even hangs a little loose below the belt. And I like the way that looks. It comes off, I don't want to say more realistic, but more natural, and gives that swashbuckler feel that, Robin is kind of bringing to the table. He's saying, ta-da, Robin is here, calm your fear, going under, call the boy wonder. So he's kind of joking around and stuff, and Gordon's like, what are you doing with a kid? And Batman even has a line about, name a war that the young are excluded from. He's like, that's dark, even for you, Batman. So he tips him off to something's going on with Two-Face, and there's some kind of like two angle that, Two-Face usually does that's missing from this, but they're going to go check it out anyway. And you see Robin scare Gordon half to death by jumping off of the ledge here. And he's like, that's how many stories up? 30-story fall. And Batman, that's his element. Be back soon. Great splash page. This could have been a cover in itself. Again, good look at Robin's costume here. Great perspective of the buildings. And then we got the Batmobile driving through the city again. And you got good details. And again, this is where Samnee excels, very much in that same school of the Darwin Cooks, the Bruce Timms, the Michael Cho's. It's simplistic while being detailed both at the same time. I mean, it's all coming from Toth, really, and it's trickled up through the generations, right? But Samnee masterfully pulling it off here. Very cinematic page of the Batmobile ripping through an explosion as they come in to confront Two-Face. There's the top of your Batmobile too, where I was saying it's a better idea to give that like 360 view of from the car, instead of just like a little slit that Batman can like look through. So they hop out and give chase. I like the shadow here too of Batman and Robin. You get a little shadow of Robin, but the shadow of Batman. So the lighting coming up from below. They make a point to say that Robin's cape is bulletproof. It's like got some Kevlar to it here. It's an interesting angle as well. You're going to be sending a kid out into fighting these criminals. They're going to be shooting at him. You want to give him some kind of protection of some sort, other than just his natural acrobatic skills. The color change here too is great. We're outside. Well, fire, I guess, from the explosion, lighting here. And then as they go inside, we've got cooler colors for an inside of a building with low light. Good perspective there too of jumping in. So I guess it's inside. Kind of looks outside in a way. Maybe, no, it's inside. Two-Face looks great too. I love the side of Two-Face's face right there. Looks great. And Two-Face has like an old school trap for him here. And this is where Mark Waid's love of like the classic comics and superhero comics. I hate to say silliness, but it is what it is with these villains creating these mega death traps for these characters. So they step on these plates that is essentially now triggering a bomb. And if they were to jump off of them and these plates pop up, it's going to be a big explosion, right? And they both get trapped. And I guess he did enough plates just for Batman to try to make sure that he got Batman, but it got them both. And they both did it at the same time. So they have the confrontation with Two-Face here, who is kind of setting up what's going on later. It's all vagaries, though, because they keep asking him what's the angle with the two. Where's your two this time? Batman, of course, calls him down. This is a good shot of Batman's face right here. It looks very... there's emotion. There's like a friendship in this face, right? The way he's looking at Two-Face with those eyes, the way they're drawn on the cowl. You know, they're not angry eyes. They're inquisitive, right? Because Harvey Dent is essentially Batman's friend. This would be taking place after, like Long Halloween, for instance, assuming this is all the same continuity. DC's, they just do what they want anymore. I don't really know what's considered part of the modern continuity and what's not. But in my mind, I would say that there was, DC's, or it would be like year one, the Long Halloween, this probably, and then the Dark Victory, which has Robin in it as well, I believe. So this would kind of fit in there somewhere, I would think. I mean, maybe it's a different continuity, but I really don't know. So Two-Face, again, giving his like vagaries. There's a new boss coming in, planning his advancement in Gotham for over a year. It seems they've just been ordered to go to war on the Batman. Great face there, Robin too. All of the way he does like the eyes, and again, it's subtleness. It's subtleness. But you've got like a little furrowed brow mixed with the smile. It all works great. And then here too. But look how the mask changes even. And then flattens off. And then flattens off his brow. They get out of the death trap, of course. They stick batarangs in the panels to hold them just long enough that they can use their hook shots to pull them out and jump off just in time. And of course, that's only going to hold it for a minute, but it gives them enough time to escape. The difference in the positions of how like Batman moves and how Robin is moving is done really well on display in this. I love this boom right here, that it's part of the action itself. They're showing the click. So great, just storytelling. So instead of just showing like the building blowing up, it shows like the little click, the boomerang, the batarang coming out, and then the boom. And the story's going to wrap up with here's the new boss that Two-Face was mentioning. He's coming out of a plane, kisses the stewardesses as they arrive. And on this page, there's these guys, they're saluting and calling him General. And this is his father, and he says his father can't speak. And he's like, no one knows I'm here, correct? And he's like, yes, sir. I was like, well, I mean, details, soldier. Understood, sir. So then he goes in the plane, and you're bam, bam, bam. So he's killing the stewards and I suppose the pilot and everything. Just, we're going to establish this guy's a baddie, and he doesn't want to leave any trail of that he's arrived. He'd rather leave a trail of dead bodies that can't be tracked to him, as opposed to somebody knowing that he's there. And that's how we're going to wrap up this issue. As I'm recording this, number 2 has not come out yet. This did come out a few weeks ago. The second one should be coming out probably within a week or two of me recording this. It may be out by the time I actually get the video up. I'm not a new comic reviewer necessarily, but if I see one that I like and want to do, I'll get to it eventually. You're not coming to my channel for like the up to the minute, this is the newest comic this week. You're just coming to hear me ramble on about this stuff, right? So most of the stuff I do is 30 plus years old. So if you get something that's just a month old, you're getting something kind of special from me. The issue wraps up. It's got a preview. I guess this is a wrestling thing, EAW. A little preview of some other book. I like these Batman cows from McFarlane Toys. I won't get any, but they look cool. They do look cool. Do want to see that. And then here's your back cover. You've got 2 Harley Quinn books in the back cover. That's pretty cool too. So that's all I got. You got a modern book out of me today, a modern Batman book of all things too. Until next time, read your comics. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my breakdown of this issue, you can support the channel by hitting subscribe. It costs you nothing and helps other comic fans find the channel. You can also visit readyourcomics.com for cool merch, like this. Read Your Comics isn't just a brand, it's a mantra. And when you wear a Read Your Comics shirt, you are helping spread the word. For more classic comics conversation, be sure to follow me on Instagram at read.your.comics. And if you're still here, why not watch one of my older videos? Here or here.